Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So we're going through Ultron's Assault, exploring it. This is Chapter 2, and it's the last quest. Now, as you'll see here, this is not my first or second path through this quest. The recording for the first path, which I consider to be the easiest one, all the way to the far right, was lost due to technical difficulties. Then I was rushing through this and did the second path and then forgot that I needed to record that one so that I could, just for completeness, put up 2.3 for this quest. It's the last one that I need to put up. I have all the others up at this point in time. All right, so first up, we've got Mordo. Mordo can be a pain to fight here. So because of this power gain that you have to deal with, you have to be very careful. So my strategy here is to build up poise until he goes turtle like that, and then back him up so that I'll not be backed up against the wall, and then just try to bait out his specials. Once I get that taunt on him like that, then baiting out his specials will be much easier. Try not to push him too far because he's going to get that power gain and you don't want to have him get to his special 3. Now, because he's the first fight in here, I had a little bit of a luxury. I could fight him, and if the fight went well, continue. If the fight did not go well, just restart. It's the first fight, doesn't make any sense to continue if you got wrecked by him. All right, so you saw that I was able to bait him out again before he got his special 3. So now the fight is pretty much in my control here. Fire off that special 2 and it's lights out. So that's the Mortal fight down. Not too much of a trouble that time, but there have been times where I had to restart. He just refused to throw his specials even when I put a taunt on him, and he just wrecked me. So next up, we've got Sabertooth. Now, I don't like fighting Sabertooth, and with this power gain, it's going to make the fight take a little bit longer. But my basic strategy when fighting with Starkey is, of course, to build up as many poise charges as I can before I decide to attack. But I didn't do that there simply because I don't want to get backed up against the wall like I am right there. And see, that's exactly what I was trying to avoid. All right, so it is what it is. It happens. Now I'm trying to push him back. So forget about trying to build up the poise charges like I was trying to do in the beginning. I wasn't sure how much of that bleed was going to do to me. Honestly, I was like, I hope it doesn't kill me, but thankfully it didn't. I was able to get off that special 2, do some good damage on him, and I'm just basically playing it pretty slowly, trying to bait out his specials, using my heavy to drain his power whenever I can, and I'm doing some good damage at this point. I baited that out because I didn't want to fire off my L2 and push him to an L3, and at this point, it's lights out. So we did take some bleed damage in the beginning, but not too bad. So next up, I went straight up here, and we have to deal with this Emma Frost. Now, this is a stacked Emma Frost. She has aggression, regeneration, and power gain. At least she doesn't have power reserve. But what that aggression regeneration means is you want to be fairly aggressive when fighting her. Otherwise, she's going to just keep regenerating her health up. She's going to get stack upon stack, and you'll have to hit her to remove each of the stacks. So being aggressive is important. As you see here, I was building up my poise charges until she hit her heavy, and I saw the opening and had to do it. Now, I'm just going in. This here, you just have to deal with the inverted controls. If you fought her when she first came to the contest, you should be familiar with how to fight her by now. If not, you're going to have a bad time on this particular fight. But with the inverted controls, instead of swiping back to evade, you have to swipe forward. So you have to swipe towards her to evade her special one. So I swipe forward, and I'll try to mention it. Forward, forward, and then back to attack her. And you have to do that back one pretty quickly because she will start blocking. So there's a small window. Okay, so forward, forward, back. That's what you have to do over and over again. But it's very easy to forget. It's very easy to make a mistake here. I've done it before. I'll probably do it again. She is a very tricky person to fight. I am not a fan of the inverted controls. Now, I heard that in map 7 there's a node called Delirium, and that one has inverted controls. Not a fan at all. I will try to avoid that node at all possible. If it's at all possible. Alright, so Emma Frost down. Didn't have a problem with her this time. And I say this time because you never know. So I saw that Killmonger over there, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with him right just now. But then I saw a Green Goblin. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? I think I'll deal with Green Goblin for right now. Even though his special 2, and I just need to learn to evade his special 2. That aggression regeneration caused me some concern. So, of course, I go in here and I start off with Starkey. He doesn't have a lot of health. My goal here is just to do as much damage as I can. If I can get him down, great. But if not, I just want him hurt. And if I have to revive Starkey, I'll do it. Starkey was by far my MVP for this entire chapter. At times, I wondered why I even bothered using anyone else, but some of the others did put in some good work. But as you can see, all we did was build up our poise charges. Then we went in, standard tactics for fighting with Starkey. I like evading, or I like baiting out his special 1. I don't like baiting out his special 2 because I just suck at evading it. Now, Starkey can auto-evade, but I don't like relying on Starkey's auto-evade to get me out of that special 2. But I've seen people evade his special 2 without any problem. Alright, so here I'm like, okay, my EMP is ready. Boom. I was just waiting for that to come back online. Now I'm baiting out his special 1 again. And you'll see I'm not doing a whole lot of damage to him. So I want to get in this special 2 here. And that's doing a nice little bit of damage. But all that baiting out allowed him to build up those stacks of regen. And of course he had his own regen as well. So I'm looking at this fight going, oh my goodness, this is going to be a long fight. And of course I don't do my heavy there because my EMP web wasn't ready. Now it is. So I go in here trying to get rid of some of those regeneration stacks. You know, now I'm parrying him. I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can. He's healed up most of the damage that I did to him earlier. And right now, I'm already tired of this fight. I fire off my heavy, but I'm actually tired. So I decided to just go ahead and take one to the face. I just did not want to deal with this fight anymore. I've told you guys I don't do well with really long fights. They're just boring to me. And a lot of times I'll lose my focus. Alright, so with Starkey down, I decided to give some of the others a little try. Now this is dangerous because of the aggression regeneration. So they can actually do worse than not doing any damage. They can cause him to heal all the way back up. So I was thinking I wanted to play around with Symbiote Supreme, see if he could nullify some of those regeneration stacks. But doesn't look like he could. I saw that right there. I saw his health going all the way back up. And so I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. Let me just push him to his special 3, do some damage, and just quit on out, as you see. So who to try this time? I've got Vulture, who I really just brought for synergy. He has an attack synergy with Starkey. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and revive Starkey. I could have used Voodoo and maybe converted a lot of things to poisons. But I said, nah, let me just go ahead and use Starkey and get this guy down. I know that it's going to be a longish fight, but he's already hurt. So instead of maybe trying to build up all the way to 10, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive this time and just build up the poise when I can. You know, when he fires off his special one like that, I'm building up poise just by evading. So just going to go a little bit more aggressive, keep those regeneration stacks off of him. And if he gets any, just keep hitting him. Try to bait out his special one. Hope that he baits quickly, because the longer he takes to bait, as you see here, he's healing up all this time. And then he fires his special one, and you're still not able to hit him. So you see his health went all the way, almost back up to full. And I'm just like, okay, what in the world? How am I going to deal with this? Because even trying to be as aggressive as I can, now I have 10 stacks. It's going to really depend on how quickly I can get him to throw his specials. So I went ahead and pushed him to his special 2, and I'm just keeping myself open. And Starkey evaded that one for me. And that's all I can do, is just try to bait out his specials quickly, fire off that special 2, hope I get some crits. I got one good crit in there, so it's really ticking down now, doing some good damage on him. So I'm like, okay, I can do this now. See his health? Now I go into a stun. I do 1, 1, 1, and he's down. So finally, we got through that fight. I was afraid at first that that fight was going to take even longer. But towards the end, when I saw that his health was, you know, pretty low, what I was going to do is I was going to do a medium, medium, and then a 5-hit combo, but he didn't last that long. All right, so we're still dealing with a power gain here. Now, Black Panther Civil War, he is not that bad to fight if you know what you're doing. However, with the power gain, that actually helps out a little bit, except you're going to have to fight it a little bit slower, but you then have to deal with that aggression regeneration. So here I'm just building up my poise, and now I'm going in. Now I've made a video on how to fight Black Panther Civil War. I know how to fight him. All right, you do not want to parry him when he has those armor ups active. So you see there, I was able to parry him, but now he has an armor up on. Don't want to parry him. Now I'm in the corner, and not really much I could do. I couldn't take any more blocked hits, and he just decided to hit into my block. I couldn't parry him to get him off of me. Not much I could do there. So I'm like, okay, well, I already revived my Starkey once. So let's give some of the others a try. See if we can, you know, just hurt him a little bit so that I have less to work with, to do when I finally pull him back in. Because I'm thinking I'm going to bring him back in for this fight, but I want to give everybody else a try, just trying to whittle him down a little bit. But again, that aggression regeneration makes my tactic not as effective, because if they don't do enough damage, he can end up with more health than they started with. So at this point, of course, with Nebula, my whole goal is to build up her shock charges like that, fire off that special 2, and just do all that massive damage. And look at that, some crazy damage. If I could have built up more shock charges, we could have done even more damage. All right, so he has those armor ups, and you can't parry him, so you need to either intercept him or bait out his specials. Now, if I was more confident with intercepting, that's how I would have fought this, and it would have gone a whole lot better. But trying to bait out his specials, that gives the aggression regeneration time to do what you see it doing here. So all that lovely damage I was doing earlier, gone. It's actually healing, you know, he's healing back up. So again, I just go ahead and fire off her special 2. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably not going to be able to do this. So let me just do a little bit more, make sure that I'm nice and warmed up for the next fight. So in a minute here, you're going to see me push him to his L3. That's when I've given up and I just want the fight to be over. Because I guess I'm a slow learner, but my strategy, which is to whittle them down, does not work very well, as I learned, or I should have learned earlier, with aggression regeneration. I'm actually working against myself if I take too long. What I should have done, if I really wanted to do that, is once I got to her, you know, max shock charges or something like that, fire off her special 2. If it didn't kill him, quit out. Take the damage and run. That's how I could have done that, but I didn't. I revived Starkey here, so I'm already gonna build up my poise charges, and you see there I'm starting to intercept a little bit more, trying to be a little bit more aggressive here. I want to get to his special 2 as quickly as possible. So I'm trying to bait out his special 1 here. He's being stingy with it, so I went ahead and just started hitting him to try to get rid of those aggression regeneration stacks. All right, so now he's firing off his special 1 nicely. I'm able to fire off my special 2, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, I got this. As long as he does this, we're good. All right, so we've got some more armor ups. He fired off his special 2. I'm being nice and aggressive like I should, and I'm like, yep, I got this. And then that happened. That was all me. I just evaded back a little too slow. It happens with the special 1. I should have had him there. I had him on the ropes, but whatever. It is what it is. It happens. So I just went ahead and revived Starkey again. And with that little bit of health, I'm not going to try to build up all of my poise charges. Okay? He doesn't have any armor, so I do want to build up a few, but I don't want to let him get too many regeneration stacks going. All right, so he's stacking up right here, and here we go. Didn't wait for the full one, but I did probably wait a little bit too long. And here he got me in a corner, and I was afraid. So here I'm hitting into his block to push him back a little bit so I have a little bit more room to work with. And I'm trying to bait out that special 1. And Starkey evaded from me there because I evaded back a little bit too slow again. Love Starkey, although that auto evade has gotten me killed before. So now we want some crits. Didn't get any crits whatsoever. But the shock and a boot to the head, and he's down. So not too many resources used there, but more than I really needed to use. So next up, we've got Rhino. Now, Rhino is very easy to fight. Very, very easy. I've done a video on how to fight Rhino. I know there were a few people, you know, beginners who still have a hard time fighting Rhino. So one of the things that you need to know about Rhino is his unblockable proc. When he does a dash, he has a chance to go unblockable, right? But what you may not know, or you may know, is that chance increases if the size of the opponent is small. So when you're fighting against him with, say, Rocket Raccoon, he has a high chance to go unblockable when he's dashing at you. And with Starkey, he also has a very good chance. I forget what size Starkey is. So what you want to do, you want to keep baiting out those special 1s so that power gain actually helps out a lot. And of course, Starkey does a lot of damage. You want to try to back him up into the corner as much as possible so that he can't dash at you. And when you bait out his special 1, just evade it, go right back in. All right, so here is special 2, very easy to evade, not a problem here. So at this point, we've got the fight in control, under control. You saw the unblockable, but I was not trying to block it anyway. Stunned him, boom, and it's lights out for Rhino. Very easy fight. You just have to understand his mechanics. The power gain doesn't make it any more difficult. In fact, it probably makes it a little easier. All right, so next up, we've got an Ultron drone, and it is a tech. So the only drone that I really have a problem with is one that has the reflex algorithm. That's the evade. But apparently, I have a problem with this tech as well. I had just come off of fighting Rhino. I was feeling good about myself, and I knew I could one-shot this guy. So I went in there all cocky-like, and he dealt with me. He hit me right in my big mouth. So now, having been taught a little bit more respect for the Ultron drone here, I'm playing it a little bit slower, and I'm building up my poise charges like I should do. Got 7, got 8, got 9, and I'm in the corner, so I don't want to wait anymore. He'll wreck me if I take too long. All right, and there we go. He's got Wolverine's animations, very easy to evade. Once you have that taunt on him, he is very easy. Get to the L2, and it's lights out. So that's what the fight should have looked like the last attempt. But it is what it is. All right, so now we've come to the final boss. And this boss can be a royal pain if you don't know his mechanics. So out of all of these, the 2 that you need to be concerned with are the first and the last one, Gassed and Spry. So what this guy will do, every time he passively evades, he's going to put a fatigue debuff on you. And if you hit him while you have fatigue on you, not only are you going to be losing power, but you're going to take a lot of damage. So you do not want to hit him when you have the fatigue debuff on you. So how do you fight him? Well, you need to do a lot of heavies if you have Starkey. All right, so this first fight here is me warming up. You see that I'm able to do some damage, and you want to fire off your heavy and then wait, because he can still evade it. And if he does evade and you have a fatigue debuff on you, you need to wait for that debuff to go off before you resume your attack. Now, coming up, you're going to see why you don't want to use specials when you're fighting this guy. All right, you see that first hit? I had a fatigue debuff on me. Now there's nothing I can do, and all subsequent hits will cause me to take a lot of damage. So I killed myself. Now, can you do a special that has maybe a single hit? Yes. You can fire off a special if it's a single hit. That way, if you do get the fatigue debuff on you after that hit, then you just back off. All right, so we're going back in here with Starkey, and this time you're going to see me fight the way I should fight with Starkey. And if you have Starkey, this is the way you want to take this boss down, okay? So go ahead and enjoy the fight.
Okay. You've made a mistake saying I cannot run this race. It's playtime, I'm gonna crush your face. This is not a phase. Hey guys, I know you feel that bass. Roll with that until you see my face. Rising from a thick layer of fog at midnight. There's a time and a place to kill it. I spill it, leak documents from a flaming tongue. Rappers acting so saintly when not long ago you were pagan, cuz. And now they catch the aroma. Wonder what the kid is baking up. Add a little secret ingredient for knitting is something for waking up. My flow was caffeine and I'm the black king of spades. Among smaller cards and that scream you hear is mad heat. I am the daddy of cracking the bones of the flashiest chic. No given. As I grow up in a robust prison, everything I think I need is already given. For some reason, I am hardly living. Physical needs are what can't be controlled. Give a kid candy, take away his soul. Can't tell the difference between hot and cold. My senses are dimmed and I'm sold. But as the credits start to roll, I wake up and I miss the movie. The people around me are swarming like they just saw something that's dooming. Now they're telling me that I miss a lot and I gotta go back and see it. Yet everyone who was watching came at that with a crooked demeanor. These subtleties and half-truths are running my country at large. Shipping this garbage by every ocean, I'm about to sink the barge. Health, war, famine, and money, get rid of those and we have no country. What happened to thinking people love me? These relationships feel so ugly. It's like we're speaking on the surface, but something sounds scripted about all the verbiage. Like everything we think came from another person, and we didn't take time to think if it's worth it. To act as a service to only a few human perspectives. Now we got humanity's section by politics, culture, religion, perspective. None of us have accurate depth perception. It's been messed with and I feel headless. No wonder I'm trying to convert that dude in the uniform to a dead bitch. Get this, my head is full of death cause it's a dead ship full of phantoms and redness on the walls from blood shedded. No angels left in heaven and in turn I'm the one they sent in. Close your eyes and get in. This is one hell of a head trip. Most isolated, now watch that echo. I'm isolated everywhere like presto. I don't really know how to keep a friend. Something that they don't get though. And that sparks like Roscoe. Now I'm f***ing with all your heads, yo. Through the scope rooftop and I'm bent low. Between heaven and ghetto. It appears that I'm on top now. Figured out there's layers to this. Apply to the cycle now. I keep finding vibrant flyness when I pipe these heads.
So that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helps you when you go through your own Ultron's Assault variant difficulty run. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about this video. And you guys have a blessed day.